If anyone wants to know the model for what civilians need to do right now, this is it. Watch this man's video and study it, because what he did wasn't a rant, it wasn't a hot take, it was civilian intelligence op in plain sight. Let me break it down. A professor, nonviolent, unarmed, not an enemy combatant, is reportedly snatched by ICE on July 10th from a ranch near Three Rivers, California. But instead of vanishing in silence like ICE hoped, he became a traceable event. Because someone, this man, and possibly a small team, got to work. They were handed one blurry photo of a white Ford Explorer caught in the middle of a crowd. That's it. But here's where it gets lethal. They pulled TikTok footage and scrapped metadata. They matched timestamps, locations, and weather patterns. They ID'd the vehicle using open source license plate recognition tools. They followed the car's heat signature, caught it stop at a gas station, and timed it down to the minute, including the exact moment the driver went inside to use the restroom. Then they tracked the transfer of the professor to an unmarked transit van, followed it through state routes, matched it against traffic cams, and identified the processing facility he was taken to. All within hours, not days, hours. And they didn't stop there. They documented the route, California 198 to 65 to 99 South. They logged entry and exit points, camera hits, and surveillance footage. They even noted the HVAC surge in the van, likely when a generator was plugged in, which they now used as a new tracking signature. And then they made it public. They spoke it out loud. Not like an activist with a bullhorn, but like an analyst delivering a classified briefing. Thermo match, route analysis, vehicle transfer, timeline confirmed. And that right there is the model. I don't know how many people were on that team, 2, 10, it doesn't matter, because what they just demonstrated was a live action model, a tactical civilian cell operating with the precision of a strike team. And make no mistake, it didn't just expose ICE, they exposed the future of resistance. This man, whoever he is, just became the face of what's possible when civilians stop waiting for help and become the infrastructure. And the language, that's what made it lethal. He briefed. He spoke like someone who could walk into a federal hearing, drop a file folder full of receipts, and not blink once. That's how you make ICE afraid. That's how you turn the tables on authoritarian government thugs. That's how you make power flinch. And this is exactly what I mean when I say civilian involvement is part of the blueprint for blue states. Because it's not protesting, it's counter intel for the people. So let me lay it out clean and tactical. We need cells, small, local, organized civilian teams who know the terrain and know the law. Each team should include trackers who can pull data, thermal imaging, license plate readers, TikTok metadata, flight paths, and traffic cams. Analysis who can switch together timelines, confirm routes, verify movement, and spokespeople trained to speak the language of authority, OSINT style. Briefed, precise, undeniable, because language is the weapon. That's what separates chaos from credibility, conspiracy from command, and noise from narrative power. And to the veterans who are not on board with these authoritarian shenanigans, this is your moment. You've been trained to see patterns, to follow movement, to read terrain under pressure. You know what a snatch and grab looks like. You know what it means to protect the innocent. We need you in this, and most importantly, you're already trained in COSINT language. You speak the brief. You aren't marching. It's not marching, it's monitoring. It's not ranting, it's reporting. It's not fading into the background, but running point. This man's team, whatever they are, just gave us the model. And now we build the framework. We replicate the playbook. We move in cohesion and clusters with clarity until every state, blue or otherwise, knows if you come for our people in silence, we will meet you in daylight. And you won't just be seen, you'll be known, tracked, named, logged, and broadcast. So if you're still asking what to do, this is it. This is the model.
Ice, this one is for you, directly for you. And as I speak directly to you in all my lives, I hope you see this, because I'm going to be a thorn in your ass, and I'm not going to stop. We aren't going to stop. Let me tell you what happened is, on the 10th, you showed up at a California ranch. You did what you did. We saw, as we always do, and you took someone. The person you took was a professor. Not an enemy combatant, not a bad person, a protester, a professor for the university. His name was Johnathan Caravello, and he was a professor at California State University, Channel Islands. So what that did is that gave us a unique opportunity to test drive a few new features in our systems and software. So what happened is someone that is close to the person you took reached out to us with a photo and a name. It was just a photo of your white Ford Explorer from the side in the middle of a crowd. But fortunately for you, it was all over TikTok and so many photos. So we found you, and we saw, and we tracked your car. We tracked it all. So I'm going to go ahead and read this so that way you understand how this happens. And you can understand when I say no more silent abductions, and I am posting every single thing. Go to the Google Drive, join the lives if you want. We will watch you. You're free to look at the information as well. Keep trying to figure out how to get around it, because you can't. You won't be able to. Just like you tried New York today. You can't, and you won't be able to. So let me tell you what happened. You showed up, caused an issue, and you took someone. You had a target. The target was Mr. Johnathan. So when they reached out and said, can we find him? Absolutely. It allowed us to test drive and, well, take Sammy for a little spin. And a few updates. So, let's get into some fun here. AFG intelligence report subject was Johnathan Caravello. It was an abduction detainee transfer operation. His status is a professor at the California State University. Our event code for this is live tracking sequence. Confirmed detention, unlawful enforcement, and protocol by ICE. Subject overview. Johnathan Caravello, occupation, professor at the California State University, Channel Islands. Status, he's a civil protester targeted and detained by ICE-affiliated agents on July 10, 2025. The location of abduction was a farm ranch zone near Three Rivers, California, Sequoia National Park. Now, we have the longitude and latitude of where you were sitting in there, and we can actually see that. But we'll get to that in a minute. So the timeline and tracking data, though, is 12:05 p.m., private agricultural site near Three Rivers, California, protest and ICE detainment, civilian video and thermal eyewitness. 12:23 p.m., a white Ford Explorer departed, visual confirmation with Mr. Johnathan. 12:41, he was transferred to an unmarked transit-style van inside the park, where he sat for almost 6 hours, before you decided to head out eastbound, sighting on California 198 Sierra Drive. That was picked up on all the cams and thermals because you can't go anywhere without passing a camera, anywhere. Then at 18:26, there was a thermal match because you decided to stop at the Lemon Cove fuel stop. You were there for 16 minutes because you needed to go inside and get something to drink, and you also had to go pee. At 18:42, you left Exeter Checkpoint. The vehicle was spotted again. And then at 18:47, you headed down California 65 South in a nice fleet match. And that was LPR confirmed as well. Oh, license plate reader. Yeah. Then your confirmed destination was Mesa Verde Ice Processing Center, 425 Golden State Avenue, Bakersfield, California. You arrived at 2029. It is operated by the GEO Group, and yes, we have thermal match, cam footage match, and ice confirmation match. Your route analysis was California 198 to California 65 South to State Route 99 South to Golden State Avenue, Mesa Verde. We tracked all your vehicles, and then even where you went after you decided to split from those vehicles. Just a reminder. When you leave one vehicle and go into another, we can see that too. So all of this was super fun because it allowed us to prove a point. that there will be no more silent abductions. If I can, I will, and I can, and I do. On every post, I will expose everywhere you are, everywhere you're going. Now we can track you because you've given us enough data points. Every time I've said a left, you decided to make a right. And we knew that because you're watching these. So you gave us enough data points. Or when you try and turn up the HVAC in your car, or you have the power surge because you're plugging in the generators. See, we know to look for those now. So you keep giving yourself away, and you keep giving us more data points to find you. And it allowed us to track Mr. Johnathan in just a little over 3 minutes. Whereas if she would have gone to the local police station and filed a report, it would have taken, if it even happened, a lot longer. So I hope that the university that now has this information is trying their best to bring Mr. Johnathan home. Now, as of this moment, I don't have an update. I just wanted to give this information. I wanted to make this video yesterday, but we had more stuff to do because as we were going through the reports, we saw more of what you were doing. So now we're going at that today. This needs to stop because I'm not going to stop. Everything I'm doing is protected by the First Amendment, whistleblower and watchdog rights, international humanitarian rights, and all the laws applied to journalistic views. So let's have fun with this cat and mouse game. You take, I'll track. But the problem is the more data points you give me, we'll be ahead of you because there is only so many lefts you can take. There's only so many rights you can go. There are only so many places that you can show up. And that's the best thing about technology. And that's the best thing about information is we can find you. So when you park that van behind the building and you get into your personal car and then you leave that lot and you make that right, we see that. Now, with that said, some of you are actual federal officers, so we don't give that information. Others of you are not. So those that are not, I suggest you think twice before taking somebody that's innocent. Just a thought, because we will track you and we will find you. You can't hide, literally, from technology. So, ta-da, ICE. Your move. Stay free.